Dallas
right.
at Chase, and he was clearly upset. And Steve Kerr hadn't been starting him, and he didn't play him at one point. And everybody's like, "What's going on with Jordan Poole?" March 3rd in Dallas, he figured out he was really good from that point until the end of the season. And so the Warriors get credit for all of that and making it through some of the little landmines that popped up during this season after that 41-13 start. But you could tell it was going to be Stephen Poole, Wiggins and Draymond, Looney, and then you also knew it was going to be Peyton and Porter, because Peyton proved himself very early on to be a factor.
Yeah.
Early, and you made a point during
Snax on Sports. I'm back, man, with another one, man. I'm talking about Nick Fridell. He's a dumb son of a bitch. Yeah. Your ass finna get gold in on, boy. Yeah, I'm finna go in on this bitch. Yeah. I'm finna go in. Yeah, I'm finna go in. You see this fat fuck, big head, big bitch shit about Andrew Wiggins and what the fuck he can't do and all this other shit.
What they started to see from
this bitch talking right now.
Bielitsa, a little more from Poole. Looney was healthy. Andre's impact early in the year was crucial in setting them up for the success that would come later.
888-957-9570. Doug in Berkeley on 95.7 The Game. Hey, Doug.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. Great hearing all this stuff about the Warriors. It brings back memories of the season. A couple things. One is, JD, you said earlier in response to one of the other callers, about the 41-13 start, and then things got a little wonky, and the other caller was wondering about it. Do you think, in addition to like the injuries, that the defense, which was so good in the beginning of the season, the first 2 years?
Now, this all I'm saying, bro. This nigga Nick Fridell from ESPN, okay, he covered the Brooklyn Nets now. He was covering the Golden State Warriors, but I guess when KD left and all that, you know what I'm saying, the nigga thought that we wasn't going to be shit no more. So this big chin ass nigga followed KD to the East Coast of Brooklyn, and now they ain't shit. And we champions. And now this nigga on a radio station this morning and yesterday talking about how I didn't see this happening. I couldn't believe it when I didn't see it and this or that and blah, blah, blah. And they asked the nigga, when did you think that the Warriors realistically had a chance to win the finals during the series? You know what I'm saying? Not as far as like throughout the season, but after the series started, because he picked the Celtics. I ain't got no problem with that. Pick the Celtics, bitch. That's all good. But this nigga was sitting there talking about, oh, yeah, I didn't believe it until the clock struck zero. He's a stupid, dumb son of a bitch. You just come out and say, I was wrong. I don't know shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the fuck I got this job talking sports because I don't know shit. I'm a dumb, stupid, plumb-dumb motherfucker. Just say that. You stupid son of a bitch.
Just in that Boston series, not to get too lost in that.
He gonna say some dumb shit.
Look great defensively.
I'm fit to go in on this nigga.
Awesome defensively in the last 3 games, and that's what you had to do to beat Boston. You had to make them.
Now this JD talking right here, John Dickinson. I fuck with him. You know what I mean? He's a believer. He always kept the motherfucking faith, and he gonna call it how you motherfucking see it. Yeah, I fuck with him.
The Warriors some breathing room to get the offense going because the defense was so good.
You know, one of the things that pissed me the fuck off about this bitch, Nick Fridell, is this nigga want to talk about, oh, I didn't believe that they could ultimately get back to this spot after 2 years, and 2 years ago they were 15-50 and blah, blah, blah. Not only did I not believe it, but the Warriors organization didn't believe it. I'm talking to the people in the Warriors organization, and they didn't think, bitch, shut that shit the fuck up. Nigga, we always thought we could do this shit, bitch. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Don't try to put other niggas into your shit. Because you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Try to say, oh, well, the organization and the players, they didn't even believe that they could be. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Fuck you talking about, nigga. If they didn't be, so you mean to tell me Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Bob Myers, Joe Lake, they didn't think they could get back here? You was a stupid, dumb, idiot, big neck, chin motherfucker. I got to come up with some more adjectives for your bitch ass.
Where Klay hit a couple of threes, Poole hit the banker, but hit
JD. I need for you to stop talking. I want to hear this bitch.
12 there to where they would have been in trouble. That to me was, I think that's the most under-discussed 4-minute stretch when the Celtics were going off and it looked like game one, and then all of a sudden, the Warriors had the lead at the end of the third quarter, and our guy Whitey pointed this out. He thought that was really the first time the Celtics looked defeated, like, we can't freaking shake these guys.
Right.
Like, we just hit them with the game one energy, and we're freaking down one.
They knew in that moment that they didn't have the firepower to rise above what was right in front of them. JD, Steve Kerr has said it a lot through the last few years. The gravity that Steph creates and that defenders have to be around him for is unlike anything he's ever seen.
Why you
we
didn't
know
pick
he
him?
played with MJ. We know how
Why you
great
didn't
of a
pick him, man,
compliment
fat
that
bitch?
is to Steph. But what I want to reinforce here is Steph Curry has brought his game to an even higher point than we've seen because he physically is in the best shape of damn near anybody in the entire league.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, at the end of last season, he was playing like the MVP. He was knocking down 40 every game. For him to come back after that kind of year and keep himself at the level, conditioning-wise, physically, that he was at, shows a lot in the way he's built and how special he thought this year could be.
Why you
'Cause
down
I
him
know
then,
that
bitch?
was one of the biggest questions I had. You kind of felt like, all right, Steph had to do everything a year ago. He had to make it all happen by himself. How in the world is he going to be able to play at that same high level? Well, what happened was he was still playing at an incredibly high level, but the guys around him got better. Poole got better. Wiggins got better. Klay came back.
This nigga said, how is he going to play how he did the second half of the season last year, this year? What the fuck you mean how, nigga? What the fuck you mean how? He been doing this shit for years now, bitch. So all of a sudden this year, he supposed to fall off the fucking map? You stupid motherfucker. You's a dumb son of a bitch.
Casually, I said that. I mean, it's Steph and Klay and Draymond are the foundation. That's a given. But for the Warriors to get back to championship contending level, it's Andrew Wiggins making 2 jumps, essentially, from where he was when the Warriors got him. Jump to all-star caliber player,
Right.
and then a jump to a championship caliber player. And we saw it.
I don't want to hear Nick Fridell say nothing about no motherfucking Andrew Wiggins.
Going at him.
Bitch, don't say nothing. Don't even mention him. Act like he don't even exist, bitch. Because you talked about this nigga like he was scum of the motherfucking earth. That's how you talked about him.
Don't have it.
I don't know why. Andrew Wiggins, he's going to have to show me that he's able to withstand the rigors of an 82-game season. And then is he going to be able to do it in the postseason? And then is he going to... Shut your bitch ass up. Just shut the fuck up.
Veteran glue guys on top of that. We're also a big
With
part
that
of
bitch
this.
ass laugh you be
As
doing.
far as the 41 and 13. I do think Klay was part of it. I also think it really
Shut
was
your
a lot
bitch
about
ass
the
up.
ins and outs of the lineup, and I think that is one.
JD, you doing too much talking, bro. Like, straight up, nigga. I was listening to this shit about 30 minutes ago before I did my live. This nigga doing all the talking. Nick Fridell. Now all of a sudden I'm trying to get the people to hear this bitch. Now you want to do all the fucking talking. Shut your bald-headed ass up.
Some of these tough losses, and it becomes easy to sort of say, well, they don't have this guy, they don't have that guy, and it kind of
Let Nick Fridell talk so I can go in on this bitch.
continue when there were other players out. And the other part of it is the young guys. The young guys started playing more, and that's just the reality. And I know young guys, and that's fine. Wiseman and Moody and Kuminga all may have great careers. They all may be big-time factors next year and in the years beyond. But when they had to play more in place of some of the veteran players, the Warriors weren't as good, flat out. And when they went back to the veterans and peppered in the young guys here and there, or went away from them essentially altogether, except for a few minutes here and there, they were better for it. So the two timeline, and I'm not saying those guys didn't contribute at all. They did at times.
Yeah, this is not good for my show, bro. Like, this shit always happen, nigga. As soon as I go live, the nigga that I want to do all the talking ain't talking. I need for the people to hear Nick bitch ass Fridell. He gonna say some dumb shit, take some calls or some shit, because the callers gonna go in on his fat ass too.
And that meant those young guys weren't gonna be playing.
When you break down how this all how it all clicked the way that it
look, this nigga clear your fucking voice, bitch.
As we're talking about Wiseman, just think about the last year and a half of you and I doing this show and taking all the calls and listening to fans go through all the reasons why Wiseman was going to be great and the Warriors needed him. I really feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I really feel bad.
I was glad to see him.
He don't want you to feel bad for him.
This.
James Wiseman do not need nobody to feel bad for him. I really feel bad for him. Why? Feel bad for yourself, nigga, that big ass chin. Nigga. The fuck you feel bad for James Wiseman for? That nigga getting paid $14 million a year to do nothing. Don't feel bad for him. He all right. I promise you that. I feel bad for him. Bro, why? Like I just said, he making $14 million a year. The nigga ain't played this year. I wish I could make $14 million for doing nothing. I wish I could make $500,000 for doing nothing. Okay? And he just got a championship ring. I don't give a fuck. Oh, well, he didn't play. Man, I don't give a fuck. He's still going to get the ring. So, hey, don't feel bad for James Wiseman. I know what they, trying to say, oh, well, because he didn't contribute and he didn't play. And bro, the nigga is, what, 21 years old? He like 21 or 22 years old, bro. Like, he got his whole full career ahead of him. He gonna be all right. So don't feel sorry for him. Feel sorry for your bitch ass. For your own bitch ass.
Getting him rolling again, but it's almost as if the transition period that we were all expecting going into this past season, by not having to deal with that, it helped set the Warriors up for the run that they eventually went on. And JD, as we move forward with this team, I'm really interested to see now how they weave Wiseman back into what they've already just built to get back to the top. Because as you said with Kuminga and Moody, they proved that they can do it.
Yeah.
They proved maybe not that they're at the same level as some of the veterans, but that they have the ability within them to work their way up to where they're going to need to be. Wiseman has not shown that yet. Wiseman has shown flashes of
there you go, Nick.
Promise.
I'm just giving you a hard time. There we go, Nick.
But Wiseman has not proven yet that he's going to be able to
get on that nigga. See, he's already talking about what a nigga ain't proven.
Always the Warriors.
A nigga that's essentially a rookie.
Their system a little bit to fit what Wiseman offers.
I think he's better off the way things worked out.
Thank you.
I'll tell you why.
Thank
coming
you.
Up next, we got some text messages to get to. Phone calls to get to 888-957-9570. John Dickinson and Nick Fridell. We're here until 1. It's Warriors This Week.
Thank you, John Dickinson, for telling that nigga exactly how it is. Yes, Wiseman is going to be better off how things played out for him. Yes, I know he would have wanted to at least play at some point this year. Okay? But the Warriors organization know what the fuck they doing. Okay? They got a good track record with this. Look at all the motherfuckers that they drafted that's succeeding. Okay? Steph Curry. Now, this regime didn't draft Steph Curry. He was drafted before Bob Myers and Joe Lacob, you know, and all that, you know what I mean, and Steve Kerr. But he was still drafted by the franchise, and they shown the ability to be able to develop players, okay? Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. They drafted Harrison Barnes. He's doing pretty well for himself in the NBA, okay? And he did well with us when he was with us. We won the championship. Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Kevon Looney. Okay? So, James Wiseman, they know what the fuck they doing. He could have came back and played this year in the postseason. They chose not to. Why? Because he's essentially a rookie. I just said this in my live yesterday. He's essentially still a rookie, even though this year was his second year. It was technically his second year. Last year he was a rookie, but he only played 35 games last year before he went out with the little knee injury. Okay, he was supposed to come back at some point this year. It didn't happen. Okay, but he was healthy towards the end of the year. But he didn't play at all this year. So why bring him back and at the end of the year, basically in the postseason, and have his first action this year, basically as a rookie, be high leverage playoff games? Nah, you know what I mean? They like, nah, it's all good. You know what I mean? I know, you know, you're gonna be disappointed, James Wiseman, but it's better for you this way. So for this nigga Nick Fridell to come on the radio talking about a rookie having proven this and that, bro, you talking like this nigga is a 4 or 5 year player, bro. This was only his second year, and he didn't even play the whole year. And this his true rookie year, he only played 35 games. So even when he steps foot on the court come the fall, he's still going to essentially be a rookie. There's 82 games in a regular season. He's only played 35. So he still will technically, as far as games played, is still going to have the experience equivalent to a rookie. Okay, now, yeah, he's been around the team for 2 years now, and you know what I mean? He's still learning and stuff like that, even though he ain't on the court. But the true learning curve comes on the court, brother. Period, point blank. You know what I mean? You can sharpen your skills mentally and become a better student, you know what I mean, at a game, you know, by watching film and lift weights and do cardio and train and do all that shit. And I know he been doing all that. I know he been doing all that. But ultimately, being on the court, playing against other NBA competition is how you really gonna get ready. So he's essentially still gonna be a rookie. So why would this nigga say that? That's what Warriors fans don't like about this big head, thick neck, wide chin having bitch named Nick Fridell. Okay? We don't like this bitch because this nigga always talk about what we can't do. Or who got to, or if you say some, or you say something about a nigga that's basically a rookie and talking about what he haven't proved. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Let the nigga play a full year or two first before you start talking about what he haven't proved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, man. Let that dude get some more experience. Let him get, you know what I mean? Get more NBA games under his belt before you start talking about what he got to prove and what he ain't proved and shit. You dumb, stupid motherfucker. And like I said, that's the part we don't like about this nigga. That's what we don't like about this nigga because, you know, why you always negative, bro? That was the shit with Andrew Wiggins. When Andrew Wiggins came over here, you kept talking about this nigga negatively and what he can't do and what he ain't doing and what he ain't gonna be able to help them do. And he proved your fat ass wrong. Yeah, he proved you wrong. Now you don't even want to mention his name. Like I said, you shouldn't. Nigga, if I was Andrew Wiggins, boy, I seen you, I want to slap the shit out your motherfucking ass. All that shit you talked about me. Talk about me like I was the worst motherfucking NBA player in history and shit.
That may never be broken.
Now back to Warriors this week.
Yeah, back to Warriors this week.
The game.
Reliving some of the great moments from a historic Warriors season, a championship season at that. December the 14th, another Tuesday night for the Warriors at Madison Square Garden. Stephen Curry breaking the all-time three-point record in that one. And the record itself, Nick, I know you were still around covering the Warriors. It's John Dickinson, Nick Fridell. Here, Whitey Gleason is out. A family wedding, so all the best to Whitey as he sits out here in our final Warriors this week. So we brought Fridell back, who started the season and, of course, hosted this show with me for all of last season. You were at MSG that night, and that was one of the great moments of the Warriors season, but also one of the odd, strange times where Steph had to overcome a prolonged slump surrounding that, that and then after.
JD, do you remember?
Let's hear this bitch.
Against Orlando? Oh.
I was going to say the game in Indianapolis.
Oh, the Kevon Looney tip-in game, right?
Yes.
Kevon Looney game winner.
Yes. But the game, oh my gosh, against
I do. It was poor. I remember watching that game. I was actually not working that game, and I was out in Walnut Creek, and it was pouring down rain that night in the Bay. And I remember watching it outside in this like covered patio, drinking a few pops.
That's a good night right there.
It's a good night.
That's a good night. But
very few of those non-working, hey, I'm just going to watch the Warrior game nights. So that was one of them.
I mean, that's a good time. But I remember going into, that was that East Coast swing. They started in Philly. I think they had a Saturday night game.
Yeah, Doc Rivers was not going to let Steph break the record. And it even goes back before to the Portland, so they played.
JD ain't got no respect for this nigga. JD, this nigga be in mid-sentence. John Dickinson be like, shut that bitch up. I got something to say, nigga. Yeah, so Doc Rivers was not gonna. I mean, that's just utter disrespect right there. And I love it.
A July show.
But he can do it, folks.
But the Orlando game, Steph got within, what was it, 15 of the record? He got within 15 of the record. The Warriors were going on the trip. They had one more home game against Portland, and Portland had nobody playing. This was Lillard was out, McCollum was out, hadn't been traded yet.
Storyline of the season
for Portland, but we're not doing Blazers this week. So after the game against Orlando, and I don't remember who asked the question, and it doesn't matter, but Steve and Steph both got caught up in maybe he could break the record against Portland and hit 15, and Steph kind of laughed and thought, well, I'd be two record. I'd break Clay's record for single game and the all-time record the same night. And then they come out the game against Portland, and Steph's clearly trying to make 16 threes or 15 threes in that game. And I thought that was a little, I don't know, bad karma kind of moment in hindsight. I mean, hey, the Warriors won it, but they got a little caught up in that.
Well,
they did. Steph came. I remember that game earlier in the year against Portland. Steph came out. That nigga took like 8 threes in the first quarter, my nigga. His first 4 he missed. I mean, that nigga came out guns a-blazing, nigga. Yeah, I mean, he was trying to get that motherfucking record. So, yeah, they got caught up in it a little bit.
What about Darrell Revis?
Oh, he was everywhere.
In his prime.
Everywhere. But JD, the part about that stretch that I'll remember is
Some hate
how
shit.
much it meant to Steph to break that record in the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
The night before in Indianapolis, right before everybody was going to come out for warm-ups, I'm running through some corridor in whatever the hell the field house, whatever it's called, in Indianapolis now.
Indianapolis
Exactly.
Field House.
Exactly. And I'm running through this corridor, and I hear this voice go, "You look like you're getting ready for a TV hit." I turn, it's Steph.
Oh.
And I'm like, "Yeah, you have any idea what I'm going to talk about tonight?" And he kind of smiles like, "Oh, no, like, go get him." And I said, "Good luck tonight." And he said, "Thanks, I appreciate it." And I went out there, and I could tell how
really wanted to slap your ass in the
relaxed
face.
he was compared to how much it was weighing on him leading into those first couple games. The Portland game you mentioned here, the game in Philly where everybody thought, oh, Saturday night,
yeah,
big
ABC
stage,
showcase.
Here we go. And once he hit that shot at the Garden, and it was the first one because what did he need, one or two?
I think he needed two.
And so he hits the first one, and you think, oh, it's coming now. The relief and the joy were palpable because everybody had been asked about it for those last couple weeks. And everybody was thinking, oh, man, like, let's just kind of get this out of the way. But after that game in Indianapolis, Steve Kerr was like, I remember I was talking to him after, and he was like, it's the Garden. It's the Mecca. He'll be ready to roll.
Yeah.
And he was early on, and it was a really cool moment with Reggie Miller in the house to broadcast the game for TNT.
Yeah, awesome. So just historic. I mean, we're reliving as part of the show here, and more phone calls coming up. We got some text messages. Somebody else coming down Nick's Road, the 408.
Fun never stops.
The 408. Holy cannoli. Holy cannoli.
Holy cannoli.
Nick has found his new Wiggins in James Wiseman.
Yeah.
Here we go.
See?
I love all the people. I appreciate one of the textures was like, you're not being a hater. It's doubt. I had doubt about the Warriors. I had doubt that Wiggins could transform himself into this kind of player. I have doubt that Wiseman, after what he's been through, will be able to be a high functioning contributor on a title.
I got doubts that your Jenny Craig need to jump on a motherfucking treadmill. It's gonna jump on a treadmill. Yeah, I got doubts about that. Yeah, because of the looks of it, your ass ain't touched a treadmill in about 20 years, bitch.
Possible now for this team at this time.
All right, Joe in San Jose, 888-957-9570. Hey, Joe.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear, Joe. What's on your mind?
Hey, first of all, Nick, dumping the Warriors for the Nets doesn't work. Ask your buddy Kevin Durant if you don't believe me. In any case, I love your voice. I can listen to you all day. Just don't bet on the Warriors next season. Just keep betting on the other team. It's working just fine. Couple of things. I want to understand from you guys what you think was the turnaround in the finals. Was it something that they found in game 4 in the fourth quarter? It seemed like it. But
why are you asking them?
On that?
Sure.
Also, everybody's talking about this being a dynasty. I want to hear your thoughts on whether you think we need to get better, because next season the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference are both going to get better. Yeah.
Okay, appreciate the call. Good stuff, Joe.
No, that's not good stuff.
The defense to me is what
that's not good stuff at all.
Start in the fourth quarter of game 4.
This nigga asking them, what do you think flipped the series?
Legendary.
Why are you asking these radio talking ass bitches? They don't know shit. They just talk. They don't know nothing. If you want to know what flipped the series, ask Steve Kerr, bitch. Ask Draymond Green. Ask Klay Thompson. Ask Steph Curry. Ask Jordan Poole. Ask Andre Iguodala. Ask Andrew Wiggins. Okay? Ask Otto Porter. Ask GP2. Ask them.
In the
Don't ask these blabbering mouth son of a bitches.
I mean, it's kind of not for today, but to me, the biggest key to next year is, Kuminga and Moody are going to be more of a factor. And I think pencil into the rotation at the beginning of the year. I do think the Warriors are still going to need veteran fallback options. And I don't know what happens with Otto Porter or Gary Payton II, and we'll see if they're able to keep Kevon Looney. Gary Payton, I mean,
you got to keep GP2. GP2
the
is
young
a
guys
must
are going to
keep.
play, and they have to play.
Yeah.
In particular, Kuminga and Moody. But do you have enough veteran protection to where in the biggest games, if you need to go away from them, you can? I think that's the area where they can stay on that championship level.
And Joe Lacob and that ownership group have proven time and again that they'll spend when they need to, JD. But I don't know how you're keeping Otto Porter.
Yeah. Don't be too reliant on the young guys. They're going to play. They're going to be in the rotation, but don't be too dependent on them to be major big game and
You
playoff
just cut them off
factors
again.
next year. You got to have an insurance policy.
And to that point, I don't know who the replacement would be or will end up being from that veteran standpoint. Do you bring Bielitsa back? What happens with the Damian Lees and Juan Toscano?
Damian Lee ass is up out of
But
here.
I tell you this, JD,
Crazy.
after what has occurred
Damian Lee is out of here.
in the last year and change with this team, the Warriors, as they were in the old days with David West and the ring chasers who would come out, take less money to play for them, they are that team again.
Yeah.
You come play with Steph Curry. Steve Kerr's your coach. You've got Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Jordan Poole is coming into his own, and he's going to get a big deal, it would appear, on the horizon here soon. But everybody in the league is sitting there going, hey, you want to win a title? You want to play for an organization that will treat you incredibly well? You want to play in a region in the Bay that is going to support the hell out of you all the time? This is the place to be. And another
Now
part
we the
of
place
this
to be.
is, on top of Kuminga, Moody, Wiseman,
But your thick
figure
neck
out
ass
where
wasn't
Iguodala's
saying that
probably
nigga
going,
last year.
because JD, his body just wasn't able to hold up at the end there. So there are going to be spots to fill, and the Warriors, you would figure, are going to have their pick on who they want to fill them.
That is a great point. They are back in that game as far as getting the legitimate, ring chaser.
Nigga, that's the smartest shit your ass done said your whole life. I ain't never heard you say nothing more right than that, nigga. That's the first time I ever heard your ass say something I agree with, bitch. Hell yeah, free agents is gonna want to come here. Come on now. We doing the damn thing. We doing the damn thing, man. So, but yeah, this nigga Nick Fridell, I can't stand this nigga. Can't stand him.
That's just kind of all I had on that one.
Okay, thanks for the call. I mean, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows, really. I mean, he's got a nice offensive game, at least projects to have a nice offensive game. I think the Warriors would love for him to be a defensive stalwart, maybe more than anything, that can knock down an occasional three and be somebody that can, get a dunk and be in the right spot if the defense is gravitating toward others. I mean, I think it's, when you look at Wiseman in particular for next year, to me, it's about the little things. It's the simple things. Can he score without them having to run plays for him? Can he defend and protect the paint a little bit? All big asks, but I think we're still in kind of the baby step phase for Wiseman next year because he's played so little to this point of his career.
Very much so. And it has to be. And JD, we go back to what we heard from Kerr early in the season, which was we need to simplify what we're asking of James on a nightly basis. And as you go into now year 3, everything will be as basic as it can be for him, not only because they don't need him to do as much, but I think they learned from what happened in that first year.
Man, he gonna do,
and Kerr admitted as much several times.
He gonna do. Yeah, it's gonna start out with baby steps, but he's going to gradually, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I seen him in them 2 or 3 games when he was getting ready to come back at the end of the year this year. Them 2 or 3 G League games that he played. I understand it's a G League, but he is essentially a rookie. The nigga look like a beast. The nigga look like a whole different, you know what I mean? Like, he was solid his rookie year in them 35 games that he played. You know what I mean? He looked like a rookie. Some games he played well. Some games he didn't play so well. The main thing that he had to get down as far as playing in the NBA is, like, he had to learn how to play defense in the post, you know what I mean, and not get abused by the like, I remember one night we was getting ready to go up against the Denver Nuggets, and we was getting ready to play Nikola Jokic. Man, I said, man, before the game even started, I said, man, Nikola Jokic is gonna dog this young nigga. He just did not know, understand. I mean, and even when he starts to play good defense, I mean, you ain't stopping no Nikola Jokic, but you ain't gonna look like you getting abused and like you just getting torched out there. You don't know what the fuck you doing. I mean, he was a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So that was the main part of it. So it was, you know, you got to get his post defense better, just his defense and positioning better overall, and his positioning and rebounding. Because in the NBA, like, you don't just get hella I mean, yeah, some games just, you know, sometimes, you know what I mean, it just might be one of those weird games where the ball just falls a certain person's way. But rebounding is an art as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, the players that average a high number of rebounds, it's because they treat it like a skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know what I mean? And a lot of it is just knowing how to position yourself, you know, to be able to rebound. For one thing I don't see a lot in the NBA is something that we grew up on. I mean, boxing out. I mean, just box out. When the ball go up, find you a man and box this bitch ass out. You're going to give yourself a higher percentage of chance to grabbing the rebound. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you grew up playing basketball, you know at certain angles, you know what I mean? If you shoot the ball from the corner, most likely if it's off, it's gonna go long, it's gonna bounce, you know what I mean? It's gonna bounce to the other side of the court. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time, but most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the shit that James Wiseman had to improve on. He's skillful. He always had an offensive game. He's a big man with somewhat of a handle. And he got a little outside shot too. So he got the skills and the talent. That ain't nothing. He just had to, you know, just got to play in the NBA and just gain the experience. You feel me? So like I said, he will know, you know, because in the NBA, man, it's a lot of unskilled, unathletic motherfuckers that, I mean, you can look at Draymond Green, not very athletic, you know, not very, like, I mean, when I say not skilled, I'm not saying he don't got no skills. All these motherfuckers that's in the NBA got skills, but I'm saying like skilled, like a Michael Jordan, a Kevin Durant, a Kyrie Irving, a Steph Curry, a Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? You feel? I'm not even talking about that caliber of like player. You know what I mean? Just the skills, right? Like Hakeem Olajuwon. You know what I'm saying? Or Carmelo Anthony. You know what I mean? Carmelo Anthony is skilled down there in that post, or just, you know what I mean, on the offensive end, just in general, in his prime. You feel me? So The nigga Wiseman got the skills. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot like you take Draymond Green. It's because, for one, his mentality, and he's tenacious, but he learned his first year or two how you got to play in the NBA. Like, it's a certain way you got to play. Just having skills and all that shit, that's not going to get it. You feel me? That's going to get you to the NBA. But once you get to the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to really know how to play the fucking game, bro, and how to play the NBA game. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't just running up and down the court, you know what I mean, on some YMCA or even at Rucker Park, just playing like it's not that. You know what I'm saying? So, you feel me? Yeah, that's the thing with that's why some players do, but not every player come into the league automatically just dominating or just playing like, yeah, you know what I mean? You get some cases like your LeBrons and your Lucas and your Kareems, you know what I mean, and your Magic Johnsons and Michael Jordans that come into the league like off top, you know what I mean? And you see right from the gate, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this nigga's ill, you know what I'm saying? But some other players, it take them a little while. You know what I mean? It take them 2, 3, sometimes even 4 or 5. Sometimes it take for a player. Look at Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins always had the skills, you know what I mean, and was able to put up 20. But all these players is NBA players, but every player ain't like a number one bus driver type of player. You know what I mean? Some players just made in the NBA to be role players, high leverage role players, or you know what I mean, or number 2s or number 3s. You know what I mean? The second option, third option, and shit. It ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Turn and all of this, boy, all the way back to June of 2019. What was it? 913 days, I believe it was.
I thought it was like 937.
Yeah, maybe I might have it backwards on that. Yeah, 937. Unbelievable.
But to see Clay have the emotional impact that we knew he would have, but to JD, to see him fight through what he went through, because right before I left, that was around late November, December, there was that moment where he was on the bench and he was really upset, and Steph tried to talk to him, and Draymond and Kerr. For Clay to get back to this point, and for him to know that things are only going to get better from here as he continues to knock the rust off and get his game back on track, it is a credit to the mental toughness that he has to be able to get through all these hurdles that have continued to try and push back the greatness that we saw before that initial ACL injury in the finals 3 years ago.
941 days.
We were both off.
941. All the numbers, all the dates, all the stats.
Fuck do it matter?
Apologies for that one. But yeah, 941 from June 13 of 2019 to Jan 9 of 2022. Klay Thompson back, and Klay Thompson a champion again. We are halfway through here on a Saturday. 888-957-9570. We'll reset everything. We're reliving some of the big moments of this Warriors season. When was the moment you knew they could win it? It's John Dickinson and Nick Fridell sitting in for Whitey Gleason here. Warriors this week, championship edition of 95.7 The Game.
Yeah, man, but Nick Fridell to, insinuate that Wiseman got some shit to prove. Bro, shut the fuck up. We just won a championship, nigga. You already trying to start controversy. Stupid son of a bitch. So 95-7 The Game. Y'all did good getting rid of Nick Fridell. And I see now he over there getting on Kyrie Irving nerves. Kyrie Irving hate this nigga with a passion. You You know what I'm saying? Over there asking them dumbass questions about the vax and all this shit. Then you want to make a post talking about Andrew Wiggins and because he got vaxxed and all this other shit. That man, shut the fuck up. Trying to throw a shot at Kyrie Irving. Why are you talking about Kyrie Irving? We're talking about, this was yesterday. He was on, because they had his plundumb ass on there yesterday too. And I was riding around and I heard this stupid ass nigga saying some dumb ass shit. And this nigga talking about, because, you know what I mean, Andrew Wiggins made the sacrifice and went on ahead and got that because he knew his teammate. Man, get the fuck out of here. He didn't do that for his teammates. That's not who he did that for. Okay? He did that because, for one, he was peer pressured into fucking doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's for one. Y'all motherfuckers basically forced him to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? And for two, he did that for himself and his motherfucking family. He just said, fuck it, man, I'm gonna just keep getting this money. I don't need none of my money to get took. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna be playing and all this shit. And you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to sit out games, and it's gonna be, he's not, every man move how they move. You know what I mean? I don't judge no man. But he not that type. He not that I'm gonna stand on it type, like, you know what I mean, like Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? He just, he kind of just said fuck, but he kind of just said fuck it. I'm gonna just do it just because I guess I got to do this shit. But he didn't do it for his fucking team. Like Nick Fridell trying to act like he did it for the sacrifice of the team and to be with the team and to that's not why he did it, bro. That's not why he did it. Oh, how you know why he did it? Because I know, nigga. Because I'm a human being, and I know how he thinking. Because he didn't want to get that shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to get that shit. You know what I'm saying? It became a weight on his shoulders in the preseason. That's all they was fucking talking about. You could see him in the press conference when they was asking him about the shit. You know what I mean? That nigga was like, fuck, man. I'm in a fucked up position. You know what I mean? Because if I don't get this shit, then they gonna be trying to come down on me like I'm some type of fucking criminal or something. You know what I mean? Or I'm doing something wrong because I don't want to get fucking vaxxed. You know what I'm saying? And if I do this shit, then I'm giving in to they fucking shit and getting some fucking shit that I don't want to get, regardless of all the shit. Oh, it's FD, it's CDC approved, FD, whatever, FDA, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? I got the right to not, you know what I mean? And trying to make it like if he wouldn't have did that, they wouldn't have won the championship and all that other shit. I mean, listen, Andrew Wiggins in the playoffs was the second best player behind Steph Curry. Okay? He just was overall. Klay Thompson is right there. Draymond Green is right there. I mean, overall, if you take the overall performance of the whole playoffs, you know what I'm saying? You got to go back and look. You know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson had some big games in the first, second, and third round. He had one or two, big games towards the end of of each series. You know what I'm saying? And Draymond also, he played well against Denver. Or he played really good against Denver. He played okay he played okay to well against Memphis. He could have played a little bit better. Against Dallas, he played great. And against Boston, he played okay. You know what I mean? But it was good enough to get the win. You know what I mean? And that's all that mattered. Because I think Steph elevated his game a tad bit more. You know what I mean? So that equalized him. You know what I mean? Plus having contributions from, like I said, Andrew Wiggins and, Clay, doing Clay things. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else just doing what they do. So, but I'm saying that to say that Andrew Wiggins was, and Looney balled out. Looney balled out the whole playoffs as well. Like Looney balled out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, but Andrew Wiggins was the second best player throughout the playoffs overall. And had he not got the vax, because I'm not for sure, I know in New York, because they announced it, you know what I mean, that all the vax mandates and all that shit been lifted. Frisco, they had the same, obviously, they had the same shit going on, but they had the shit where at first you had to go in any place in Frisco, you had to be vaccinated and have your vax card and all that other shit. I'm not sure it's like that no more. So by the time the playoffs come around, let's say if he would have not got vaxxed, I think he would have been good, but that's after everything that he would have probably had to suffer throughout the regular season. He would have missed games. He would have missed home games in the regular season at first, most definitely, at least up until the time when Kyrie and New York changed theirs. But like I said, I'm not sure if San Fran still got that. It's just I haven't heard nothing about it. You know what I mean? So I can look it up, but I just ain't looked it up. I ain't really heard nothing about it for the shit in New York. They announced it and all that shit. So it was heard about. You know what I'm saying? As far as what I mean, lifting all the mandates and all that shit, and that happened right around the time it was time for baseball season to come back. So there's a lot of players on the Yankees that ain't vaxxed. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy that when it was just Kyrie Irving, it was like they wasn't doing it. But then once baseball season came back, and it was going to be hella baseball players that wasn't going to be eligible to play baseball games, home games at Yankee Stadium, the new Yankee Stadium, or, quote unquote new. It's been there for a while now. But they lifted it. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. So, but yeah, I ain't heard nothing about Frisco. But I'm assuming, maybe I shouldn't assume, I'm assuming that they did live some, because everything is lighter now. Like, you know what I mean? You ain't got to, people still wear masks and shit, when they go places, but you don't got to wear masks no more. And in California, like, you ain't got to wear a mask nowhere. You know what I mean? You can walk in with no mask, it's good. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming it's probably similar in Frisco now. So I think he probably would have been good by the time the postseason came around. But in the regular season, he would have, so let's say if he wouldn't have been there for some games, would that have affected, you know what I mean, the overall season? You know what I'm saying? Would our record not have been good enough? You know what I mean? He was an all-star starter. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, things would have been different just because he definitely wouldn't have made the All-Star team. They would have made sure of that. So if he would have never got back, there wouldn't have been no damn All-Star. Yeah, they would have made sure that nigga wouldn't have got celebrated for nothing. You ain't making no All-Star team, nothing, nigga. Yeah, they would have seen that for sure. But you know, so yeah, I mean, you never know. The Warriors still would have been a good team. You know what I mean? They still would have been a good team, but yeah, I mean, it probably would have. It would have, it would have, because you got to think Clay was out too. You know what I mean? Clay didn't play the first 50 games of the season. You know what I'm saying? So you got to just think, man. Without having Clay and then a part-time Andrew Wiggins, I do still think they would have been a good team. Not as good as they were to start the season, obviously, but they still would have been a good team. But would they have been good enough to, because then if you're not the third seed, so then if you're not as good, because Andrew Wiggins is only like a part-time player, then that means your record is probably a little lower. Maybe you're a 5th and 6th seed instead of a 3rd seed. You know what I'm saying? And then your road might be a little harder because of that. You know what I mean? Even though, okay, yeah, he back for the playoffs, but because the mandate's been lifted and all that, but because you lost 5, 6, 7, or 8 more games than you would have lost had he been there. You know what I mean? Then that that fucks with the seeding, and now you know what I mean. It's you playing a different team, situation might be different. You know what I mean? You never know. It changes a lot. So I do think had he not been there, things would have been a little bit different. But I'm not agreeing with this. Oh, he did this for the sake of the team, the sacrifice. No, I mean that's built in there automatically just because he did it. So if you want to say that, okay, you can say that. But he didn't do that for his damn team. He did that because nigga, he wanted to keep getting his bread, nigga, for himself and his family. So that was for his family why he really did that. You know what I mean? It was basically, my job is requiring for me to have to do this to basically keep my job, or I'm going to either get shipped up out of here, or I'm going to lose some money, or my pay is going to be cut in half, or you know what I mean? I'm going to be penalized in some way if I don't do this. So he just went on ahead and did it. I wouldn't have done it, but I don't knock him for doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not him, so I can't knock him. That's what he thought was best for him. You know what I mean? And his family. You know what I'm saying?
Steven Adams doesn't start that series. He's in.
I would have still stood on mine. You know what I mean? I would have stood on mine like Kyrie, like fuck y'all. Hey, cut my pay in half. Fuck it. You know what I mean? If I'm making 30 million, I'm gonna make 15. Whatever. I'll take the 15. I'm not getting that shit though, because I don't want it. You know what I mean? It's that simple. Well, why don't you? Because I just don't want it. No knock to anybody that want to get it. You know what I mean? And anybody, but I don't feel like I need that. I feel like I'm young enough and healthy enough. Maybe if I was older and had more of a history of health issues, or thing like, then maybe but I'm a athlete at the top of my game in the peak of my life. So I'm one of the most healthiest human beings in the world because of it. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean things can't happen, and that there's a lot of healthy people that things happen or whatever, underlying issues maybe they don't know about. But I'm just saying in general, these motherfuckers want to make it like it's some huge issue. Why? Yeah, and this relates to Nicholas dumbass Fridell, because he was one of the main, since he covering the Nets now, he was one of the main motherfuckers chastising Kyrie Irving in press conferences about why he won't get vaxxed and all this other shit. Bro, for one, it ain't your fucking business. But for two, it ain't really no reason. I just don't want to. It's just that simple. There's no huge reason. So then a motherfucker got to say, they got to fall into this shit where they talking about, oh, it's my belief system and this and that. It's because of, it ain't got nothing to do with, yeah, it's my belief system. I don't believe I want to get this motherfucking shot. It's just that simple. These niggas ain't got no major factor or underlying reasoning why they didn't want to get it. They just didn't want to get it. It's their right to not get it if that's what they choose to not do. You know what I'm saying? Or if that's what they choose to do. That's your right. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers shouldn't be demonized because they don't want to get that. Okay? A lot of motherfuckers may be or may feel different if it was a situation to where, you know, okay, if this is what happens, if I get this, then I'm literally preventing the spread of it and I can't get it nor give it. But that's not the case. That's not the case. You can still get it and give it. Boosted than a motherfucker. So why am I taking this shit? That's all motherfuckers like Kyrie and Andrew Wiggins is really thinking. Fuck, I'm taking this shit for. I can still get it and give it to a motherfucker. I can still die from the shit. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck I'm taking it for?
I think for a lot of the Warrior fans, I
think it is different for a lot of the Warriors players too, JD.
No question. I think the first one for Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and Iguodala and Steve. I mean, that one I do still think is probably the most special, but I think this one's number two, easy, because there was just such a weight, I think, to the 17 and 18. Look, 17 was almost righting a wrong, right? Yep. In their mind, like should have won in 16. Didn't win in 16. You get Durant, you win it. But then it just felt like there was such a weight around this team because of Durant and the expectation to win. And everybody kind of knew, but it also, they just weren't as liked. They just weren't as likable. Because the Warriors weren't really likable that first championship run nationally. They were, I'm talking about obviously in the Bay, but nationally they were really likable. And then even the next year where it's, they're not that good, and then they run off 73-6, and people were doing a lot of talking that next year. But when they got Durant, I think that's when the narrative sort of shifted nationally as far as them going from likable to the villains. And I do think that carried a weight for 17, 18, and 19, where this feels more like 15, and to do it with the 7-year gap, for players getting on in age, and a couple of people have pointed it out, the 6 straight with a healthy trio, I mean, it's pretty amazing.
There is nothing that this group seems to love more than proving people wrong.
Yeah, motherfuckers like you, bitch.
Clay pulled the curtain back a little bit the other night, JD, and saying, hey, that tweet from Jaren Jackson Jr., and of course Clay didn't use his name just to tweak him a little bit more, but when he tweeted out strength in numbers, the Warriors, and specifically Clay, filed that away.
Yeah.
And as I have been around the group for 3 years and watch him from a distance the last few months, what it reminded me of is, as a team, the embodiment of Michael Jordan in The Last Dance saying, I took that personally. The Warriors took all the criticism personally.
Yeah, and you was the main motherfucker they took the criticism personally about.
A referendum on all of the stuff that people were saying.
Yeah, all the niggas like you.
This is all over with. This group cannot get back to the top. Draymond is not the same player. Steph is great, but he can't carry a team by himself. Clay will never be the same after 2 serious injuries. They don't have the right bench pieces around them. All of those guys remembered everything that came at them, and it fueled them in part to get to where they got.
All right, here's Clay.
There was this one player on the Grizzlies who tweeted strength in numbers after they beat us in the regular season, and it pissed me off so much. I can't wait to retweet that thing. Freaking bum. That I had to watch that. I'm just like, this freaking clown. Okay. Sorry. That memory just popped up. You're gonna mock us? Like, you ain't ever been there before, bro. We've been there. We know what it takes. So to be here again, hold that. Twitter fingers. Can you believe it? I got a memory like an elephant. I don't forget. And there's a lot of people kicking us when we were down.
Yeah, that was actually a night where the Warriors rested their guys, and Memphis blew them out in Memphis. And it was an ugly game, and you could tell, I mean, Memphis, there was no let-up. I mean, they wanted to put it on the Warriors even without their guys, and I think this isn't a defense necessarily. I mean, Jared Jackson Jr. tweeted what he tweeted, and that's fine, but I think it was almost I think that the Grizzlies were offended, just for some context. I do think the Grizzlies were offended that the Warriors basically punted that game, and I think the Grizzlies didn't just want to beat them that night. Almost like they think Kuminga and Moody and Poole are going to come in here and beat us or hang with us, and that ain't going to happen. So I do think there is a little more of a background to it. I'm not saying it makes it right or wrong, and Clay clearly remembered it, and it was motivation, and all of that is true, and file it away for I hope they play 4 times next year. Could be 3, but I hope it's 4.
The league's going to make sure there's 4.
I hope it's 4. They could be 3, it could be 4, but I hope it's a year where they play 4. But yeah, man. There was
yeah, just motherfuckers like when he was talking and saying that shit right now about all the, doubters and all that shit, he was describing his own bitch ass. It's just that simple. That's what that's what the fuck he was describing. You know what I'm saying? Because he was one of the main ones. He was one of the main ones. You know what I'm saying? And then when the shit happened, and that's the crazy thing about it, I'm seeing a lot of niggas moonwalking and backflipping and you know what I mean, and doing a whole bunch of double talking. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm seeing it all over the motherfucking internet, all over the motherfucking YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing that shit. Brothers from Another Mother with Michael Smith, with Mike Smith and the other Mike. 2 four-eyed looking motherfuckers. Okay? This nigga want to get on there talking about we should have seen that we should have seen this coming because this and that, you know what I mean? Because they were just hurt, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't over. Dynasty wasn't over. They was just hurt and all this other shit. Yeah, you should have seen 4 eyes. These niggas on Peacock now. Nigga, you niggas used to be on ESPN. Now you on Peacock. Stupid motherfuckers. You feel me? Peacock. Ain't nobody watching that shit. You niggas on Peacock, nigga. And ESPN be on that bullshit too, nigga, but they bigger than y'all. Nigga, how you go from ESPN to Peacock, bitch? You went from major to independent, but you ain't selling now. You stupid motherfucker. It's cool to go from major to independent if you still moving units. Yeah, you good. Now you really getting to the bag. You niggas ain't getting to no motherfucking bag. Niggas want to double talk and walk it back, nigga, talking about what we should have seen. No, I don't want to hear that we should have seen shit. Stay the fuck over there. Stay the fuck on over there with them niggas. You know what I mean? With what you saw at that time. Keep what you saw at that time. You know what I'm saying? Keep seeing that. Don't talk about what you should have seen. I don't know what you should have seen. You know what I'm saying? I know what you was talking about before it, and that's the whole thing about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be, that don't mean the nigga can't say, but you niggas ain't saying that you're not saying you wrong. You coming out trying to say, oh, well, we should have seen, trying to make it, trying to lighten the blow. You know what I mean? Trying to like halfway say you was wrong. Nah, it ain't no halfway, say all the way. Look, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I just didn't. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. Okay? I was wrong in the motherfucker, and that just is what it is. Them niggas did their thing off top. I was wrong though. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas did their motherfucking thing for sure. You feel me? I had absolutely no clue what the fuck I was saying. But they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They try to, we should have seen and this and that. Why you sitting there with them bifocals on talking about what you should have seen? How you ain't see that with them damn big ass goggles on your motherfucking face, nigga? Michael Smith and the other Michael that with that motherfucking peanut head looking like a motherfucking, let me be quiet, man, because y'all know what the fuck he look like. Yeah. Yeah, y'all know what the fuck that nigga look like. Yeah. So I ain't even talk like it too. So I ain't even gonna take it there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna much go there. You hear me?
Players were uncomfortable with how the Warriors were doing. I thought the fans those first 2 years loved it, even on a national scale. To me, it was when, they went 73-9, lost, and got Durant.
Champions,
I think that's
Bytch.
when nationally things soured. Might be semantics. You may say, who cares? But that's sort of my read on it.
No, but I think your read is absolutely right, because they were likable, and then KD gets there, and everybody goes, "What?
Like, this is a joke.
This team
Like, this is a joke.
ruined the game. They ruined the game." What I'm curious about,
No, KD bitch ass ruined the game.
The Warriors move forward here. JD, this run happened for a variety of reasons, but as we are going through the different points here, so much of what happened this season was fueled by so many people saying the Warriors can't do it again. Now, as they've done it again, and they've won without KD, and they've won getting Clay back after his 2 very serious injuries, and they've won with Steph playing at an incredibly high level still. What is the fuel now?
See?
And all great teams need to find it from somewhere, but what is the emotional lift that is going to take this team?
The fuel is big, thick neck, fat mouth motherfuckers like you. That's the fuel, Nick Fridell. Long as you got a voice on the motherfucking airwaves talking that bullshit, they gonna be gassed the fuck up.
I'm curious, having gone through this time and gotten back to the top, what will it be now moving forward? Because they've answered all the doubters. They've got the
So
last
what are you
word.
talking about?
They did it. Now the question is, can they do it one more time going into next season?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be people saying they can't go back to back, maybe with the age of some of the star players or the core 3. But I mean, good luck with that one. To me, the biggest question mark for the Warriors next year, and I know we're up against it here, so we'll pause. The biggest question mark for the Warriors next year is, how do they get through the regular season and win it? I mean, they'll win enough to get in the tournament, barring health. But to me, it's how do they stay motivated enough to get a top 4 seed and give themselves that opportunity? Because if you think the regular season meant something to the Warriors, those first 54 games,
100%.
It didn't the last 28, but it did the first 54, and that's what set them up. Next year, I mean, good luck. I mean, this team starts 15-10, and they're kind of 6, in the mix. I mean, everybody's going to say you can't count them out. They wouldn't be wrong, but at the same time, you do have to win enough next year to be.
This nigga said they're going to start 15-10. JD, you should dump son of a bitch. Now, you know, I'm not saying that that's, you know,
It's a peace of mind.
That's impossible that, you know, something like that couldn't happen. You know what I mean? I understand what he mean, but I'm not assuming, you know, the first 20 games they're gonna be 18-2 again like they were this year. But I'm also not saying it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So, because I'm one of the ones that does believe that they are going to be better next year. I just believe that. That don't mean they're gonna win it all next year. I do think they're gonna win it all next year too. But just because I think that don't mean that it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Just like these motherfuckers thought they wasn't going, they did. So, but I do believe that they will be a better team just because coming off this championship right here, like they already like some cocky, arrogant son of a bitches. They just is. All of them. Right? And so, now coming off this championship, now really feeling like they already feel like that, you know, they cemented they made men and they were, you know what I mean, as far as everybody that had been there since the beginning of the dynasty. But now really knowing that it's really nothing else to prove, that's when it's really scary for the rest of the league. It's like the Tom Brady effect. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's dumb as fuck for this nigga to say what he said. What's going to be the motivation now? What's going to... You ever heard of Tom Brady, bitch? You ever heard of Michael motherfucking Jordan, bitch? What was the motherfucking motivation for Jordan after his fourth? Okay? By that time, he had already won 3 in a row, retired, and then came back, got back to the mountaintop, and won another one. So that was 4. So what was the motivation for 5 and 6? And his fourth was the year they went 72-10. So they broke the all-time single season win record. So what was the motivation for the next year when they won 69 motherfucking games, either 68 or 69 games, and almost had a 70-win season again? The motivation was we won another motherfucking championship, bitch, and we the motherfucking Chicago Bulls, and I'm Michael motherfucking Jordan, and this is what the fuck I do, and I'm back. That's then the Warriors gonna have the same motherfucking motivation. You know what I'm saying? So all that shit talking about, oh, well, what's going to be the, you know, what's going to be the driving motivation now, and how are they gonna garner that, bitch? It's finna really be scary now. Like I said, it's the Tom Brady effect. Once Brady got that 4th ring, which was his first in 10 years, after that, everything else is just icing on the cake. It's just icing on that good kid egg. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's icing on the cake. So now it's like, oh, I can get greedy now. You know what I mean? Because I done already, like, Steph, you know, Clay, you know, the Warriors, they like, okay, we didn't already put ourselves, you know what I'm saying, in a stratosphere where only other legendary figures are and other legendary teams are. We didn't already did that. We there now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody did what the fuck we done did since the 90s Bulls. Now, it's something that they haven't done, though, that they still can try to achieve, is they haven't three-peated. They went back-to-back, but they haven't three-peated. You know what I'm saying? So, that'd just be wild. That'd just be wild. If these motherfuckers, because they just got through winning it, if they win it next year and then win it again the year after that for a three-peat, they gonna be damn near saying this nigga Steph the GOAT, bro. I mean, he ain't gonna be, because he would, and that's the, and another thing is, like, bro, let's say if that was to happen, and I'm kidding you, no, I kid you not, these motherfuckers is finna go for this. They finna go for it. Now, they not finna think, you know, get too far ahead. I'm talking about it right now as a fan. But they're not thinking about three-peating right now. They're thinking about, for one, they're celebrating the championship of now. They're not even thinking about next season. I'm just talking as a fan. But once it's time for the season to start rolling back around, the goal is to win another championship. And then if you do that, so you got a chance to go back-to-back right now. And if you go back-to-back, like, they have the same mentality as one of the all-time teams, like a killer instinct, kind of like, they finna go for this now. Straight the fuck up. They finna go for it. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but if they was to three-peat and get number 5 and number 6, Steph would be the only player since Michael Jordan to win 6 rings. That would be more than Kobe, more than Magic. He already got more than Bird now. You know, that would be more than Tim Duncan. Oh, Kareem. Kareem also has 6. Kareem also has 6. You know, but that's where that would put him. So I'm sorry. It would still probably be motherfuckers that would be like, well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to put him above Magic Johnson because blah, blah. If this nigga get the 6th ring, he above Magic Johnson. I'm sorry. At 4, no, he's not. I don't have him above Magic Johnson yet. He in my motherfucking top 10 now for sure, though. For sure, though. He in the top 10. Yeah, somebody got to get bounced out that motherfucker. Motherfucker say, who? I don't know who. I'll come up with that on my next video. I'll let you motherfuckers know. But it don't matter who. Somebody. That's the fuck who. Somebody getting bounced about the top 10 and Steph Curry going to fuck in. Now, I'll let y'all know on my next, because I'm going to do my all-time, you know, since they've, you know, won this championship and it's all this top 10 talk, you know what I mean? I want to update my top 10 now and do my top 10. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do that on my next video. But 6 rings, bro, to tie Jordan and to tie Kareem too. But you know, Kareem's Lakers rings, those were kind of really Magic's rings. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not saying that they weren't Kareem's rings, they were. You know what I mean? That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm not, but I'm saying those 5 with Magic, which are the 5 that Magic got, you know, Magic was, you know, Magic was running the show, dog. So, you know, yeah, you know, that first ring that Kareem got when he was Lou Alcindor with the motherfucking Milwaukee Bucks, and he was teammates with Oscar Robertson. Yeah, he was that nigga. But Oscar Robertson was that nigga too. But that was more, you know, that was more like a 1A, 1B kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? The ones with Magic was more like Magic is the one, is the top dog, and Kareem is the number 2. I mean, it just, you know, some motherfuckers might say I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I might not know what the fuck I'm talking about to a certain extent because I was too young. You know, you know, for one, when they started their run, I wasn't even born yet. You know, I was born in the early 80s, but I didn't see none of Magic prime years. You know what I'm saying? I didn't start paying attention to basketball until the 90s when the Bulls was running it. So, yeah, but so I may be a little, but and I know those early rings with Magic. Yeah, he was more of a contributor. I know that first one, you know what I mean, he didn't even play in the closeout either game 6 or game 7 when Magic had to play like all 5 positions and play the center position, and he went for like 40 something and 15 and 10, like he just went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Against the 76ers, I believe. So he wasn't even there in the closeout game because he was hurt. And then that second one, you know what I'm saying? He was like Kareem was still doing his thing. I'm just saying Magic was the top dog. So fucking 6 rings would, I'm sorry, it 6 rings would put Steph Curry, in my opinion, I mean, definitely top 5 all time. I mean, a 5th ring might just put them top 5. That's just if they win it all next year. A 5th ring, some motherfuckers will probably, a lot of motherfuckers will put him top 5. Some motherfuckers will make the case that he's better than Magic Johnson. At that point, you can start to make the case. Okay? You can start to make the case. You just can't. Because he would have equaled him in rings. So we know what Magic was. You know what I mean? That don't take away from Magic Johnson's greatness because we're elevating Steph Curry. It doesn't say Magic Johnson is lesser. We're just moving Steph Curry up. Okay? 5 rings would make it a conversation. It's not a conversation yet because he still has 1 less ring than Magic. You know what I mean? So regardless of if I'm taking a point guard to start a team with from the NBA all time, I want Steph Curry. But I don't put Steph Curry higher than Magic Johnson on my all-time list yet. He has to win another ring or 2. If he wins another ring, then I'll have the conversation. You can somewhat have the conversation now, but it's still not, you can't realistically make it because he got 4, Magic got 5. So, you know what I mean? If he get 5 and then Magic got 5, then you gotta kind of, think about this and say, well, wait now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, because I'm just saying it's people already talking about it even right now. But he got to win at least another ring for me. But if he win another ring and then another ring after that, and that's a 3-peat, bro, he passed Magic Johnson. I'm sorry, Magic never 3-peated. And I got 1 more ring than you, and I changed the game of basketball, and I changed the way the game of basketball is played, and so I revolutionized the game, and I'm the best shooter of all time. And by that point, I probably got 3 finals MVPs. Because if they win 2 more, I mean, he's probably going to be the finals MVP for the other 2 times. I mean, I'll give an option that maybe somebody else may win it again 1 more time if they were to win it 2 times. But he's gonna have at least 1 more. You know what I mean? If they win another 2 rings. So, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just giving that room out because you never know. Clay may go off in a motherfucking final series next year to where he might get it. You know what I mean? Not that Steph didn't do nothing. Same way when KD was here, Steph was right there in the MVP. Like, could have got the MVP. It's just that, KD was a little bit better just as far as numbers wise. So I'm leaving the option open of something like that being able to happen. You never know. Jordan Poole, you know what I mean, may go crazy or something like that. But if they were to win 2 more championships, I do think that, I think he's going to get all the finals MVPs from here on out. But if not, I still leave, I know he'll at least get 1 of the 2. Okay. So that would be at least a couple finals MVPs. Now I know Magic got 3. But he would have 6 rings, so he would have 1 less finals MVP and 1 more, but he would have 1 more total championship. And finals MVP to me is overrated anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? The rings are more important because that means you want it, you accomplish something as a team. You know what I mean? The Finals MVP is just like icing on the cake. You know what I mean? For the player, whatever player led the way, kind of, or whoever they feel that it may be two players that played equally as great, but you got to give it to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, 6 rings will do that. 6 rings will do that. To where if he get the 6 rings, not only is he top 5, he's top 3 at that point. He's top 3. Straight the fuck up. The only players that could realistically be ahead of him if he gets to 6 rings is Jordan and Kareem. And I would put him over Kareem at that point because they would be tied up. I would put him over Kareem. Right now, I have Magic over Kareem, and Magic has 1 less ring. You know what I mean? But I have Magic 3rd on my list. And I have Kareem 4th. So with 6 rings, bro, to me, Stephen Curry becomes the 2nd greatest player of all time. He just do. Now I know motherfuckers say, well, what about Bill Russell? He had 11 rings. He over Bill Russell, bro. He would be over Bill Russell. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? We all seen what we seen with Michael Jordan. He got 6 rings. You know what I mean? He's over Bill Russell. So he would be over Bill Russell, bro. No disrespect to Bill Russell, but, you know, it just, hey. You know, that's just what it is, man. And you know, 6 rings would do that. The only player I would put above him if he got to 6 rings would be Michael Jordan, bro. He would be, to me, he would be above Kobe. Kobe, I got number 2 on my list right now. I got Jordan, Kobe. I got Jordan 1, Kobe 2, Magic 3, Kareem 4. That's my top 4. So I guess that would be my Mount Rushmore. So, but he would have more than Kobe, more than Magic. He would have tied Kareem. He would have more than Duncan, more than Shaq, more than LeBron. You know, more than Magic. I think I already said Magic. You know, he already, like I said, he already got more than Bird. Now with that 4th one, Bird got 3. So 2 more rings coming as a result of a 3-peat, make that nigga the 2nd greatest of all time. Some motherfuckers is gonna be trying to say he's the GOAT. I'm not putting him above Michael Jordan because Jordan never got there and lost. You know what I mean? Even though I give shit to the NBA about the circumstances that they gave us in the NBA, in the NBA Finals in 2016 to assist the Cleveland Cavaliers in coming back 3-1. It wasn't they didn't just come back. The NBA helped them with suspending Draymond. They just did. That's just facts. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. However, we have no way of knowing this for sure, so I can't 100% say, but I can almost for certain say if Michael Jordan was put in the same situation, even if he don't win game 5, he gonna win game 6 or game 7. He didn't even get to a game 7 in the finals before. All his shit ended in 6 or less. You know what I'm saying? So, and most likely without Draymond, if you put a prime Jordan on that team, you know what I mean? He's even winning game 5, even without Draymond. That's how good he was. So that's the edge that I give to Michael Jordan. And even in the 2019 finals, I believe that a Jordan team beats that Toronto team, even without KD. I don't give a fuck. It's Michael Jordan. That's just what I believe. That's just what I believe. You know what I'm saying? They had Kawhi Leonard, Siakam, Kyle Lowry, Van Fleet. Michael Jordan ain't losing to that team, bro. So it's just not gonna happen. Serge Ibaka and all that. Michael Jordan led team, one of those Bulls teams is not losing to that team. So that's the edge that I give Jordan. Because of the fact that we never seen him lose in the finals, I have the right to say that. I never seen it. You know what I'm saying? So I would still give the edge to Michael Jordan if Steph was to get to 6 rings, just because it would have took him 8 tries to get 6 rings, and Michael Jordan got 6 rings in 6 tries. And some say if he never would have retired, he would have went 8 straight. There's no way to prove it. But the mystique of Michael Jordan is that's how he left it. Like, he's the one player that don't have no blemish on his resume from the time he got to the mountaintop and started winning championships. None. Once he got to the mountaintop, he did not relinquish his crown. He stayed there. I know one was like, oh, well, what about 1995 when he came back from baseball? Yeah, bitch, that's your answer. He had just came back from baseball. He wasn't there the whole year. He came back with like 17 games to go in the season and shit. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in basketball. I'm not trying to say Michael Jordan wasn't in shape, but he wasn't fully in basketball shape. Like, that just shows you how much you got to respect the game, to where even Michael Jordan couldn't just walk off the motherfucking street after not playing in the NBA for a year and a half, almost 2 years, and just walk off the street and just dominate the game no more. And you could see he still started to get better at the more and more as he played, but he wasn't fully that Michael Jordan yet. So you got to throw that year out. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. Anybody trying to count that year right there, only reason why you trying to count that is because you trying to lift up somebody else, like a LeBron James or something. So because LeBron James have failed so much, you want to try to use that and throw that. Like they try to use, man, that wizard shit, get that fuck out. They try to use the wizard shit too as an argument. Man, get the fuck out of here. That wizard shit don't count. That's just extra shit. That's just extra shit, bro. That's just something he wanted to do. You know what I mean? I'm the owner of the motherfucking team and shit. And I want to come down and play still. So that's what the fuck I'm going to do. Ain't nobody, nigga, please. That wizard shit don't count. That shit don't count at all. So I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You feel me? And that was after another time where he was gone from the game for like 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And then came back when he was like 38. You feel me? He won his last championship at like 35 and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then came back like 3 years later at 38 and played 2 years and played at 39 and 40 and shit. So come on, man. Just stop it, bro. So yeah, Jordan was just on some whole other shit. So I'm not putting nobody above him. You know. Now, if Steph somehow get to 7 rings, then we can have the conversation. Now, that's something that even my damn self, I highly doubt that they gonna get to 7 rings. That means they gotta win 3 more championships. You know what I'm saying? And most likely in a row. So they would have won 4 in a row and shit. That's some old Boston Celtics and with Bill Russell shit, bro. Like, that's just ridiculous. In this era right here, where you got all this, you know what I mean? All these moving parts and teams don't stay together. And see, that happened in the 60s with the Celtics and Bill Russell because there wasn't no free agency. You couldn't just go from team to team and shit like that. It was only like 10 or 11 teams in the league at the time. It's 30 teams in the league now. So it's harder. You got, you know what I'm saying? With 8, 9, 10 teams in the league and shit, I mean, it's the, there's not as much competition. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why that was able to happen. And that's the reason why stuff like that don't happen nowadays. That's why it's hard. It's extremely hard to win a championship in general. But it's extensively harder to go back to back. Even the best of teams, it's hard to go back to back. Look at the Warriors in 15 and 16. They should have won that championship in 16. They didn't go back to back. Look at the Patriots. After they started, they got that one where they went back to back in 03 and 04, and then they did start winning championships again, and they did go to like 3 or 4 straight Super Bowls at the end of Tom Brady's run there with the Patriots, but they won it like every other year. They won it, then they lost it. Then they won it, then they lost it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to go back to back. So to win 3 in a row, 4 in a row, that's why Jordan is looked at how he's looked at. Because he's the only, and the Bulls are the only, them and the Lakers, the Kobe Shaq Lakers are the only teams there's 3 three-peats in modern era. I'm not talking about the 60 seconds. That's not modern. I just got through telling you motherfuckers, only like 10 teams in the league. In the modern era, there's 3 three-peats. Michael Jordan got 2 of them. From 91 to 93, then from 96 to 98. And then the other one is Shaq and Kobe from 2000 to 2002. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do that, brother. So to 3-peat, and then let alone a 4-peat, that's just ridiculous. So if them niggas was to win 4 in a row and get to 7 rings, man, Steph Curry is the fucking GOAT. You know what I mean? Period. So, but he got to surpass Jordan to do that. He can't tie him. To me, he can tie Magic and jump him in all-time rankings. Not saying that I do it. I would have them at equal playing field, but you could make an argument for it. You know what I'm saying? So
888-957-9570. 1 hour to come.
But since Jordan was so flawless with it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to actually pass him up in rings to surpass him. You can't just tie him. You know what I mean? And the way he did it, and as dominant as he was, like Jordan was just on some other. And this shit, to me, even if Steph Curry gets 7, Still gonna be hard for me to say he better than Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan was just on some whole other shit, bro. I'm sorry. But I just might have to say it at 7, you know. You know. But yeah, let me see what these niggas is talking about on the back end when they come on, and then I'm finna end this live. I'm almost at 2 hours on this bitch. You know?
The same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or dishwashers, but you will find the best deals on the best TVs, soundbars, and home theater systems. Shop around. But
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, bro. Warriors is champions, and these niggas is mad. I gotta get a haircut. And within the next year, I'm gonna cut all this shit off too. I'm gonna go back to, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go back to me. I done had this shit going on like 5 years now. You know what I'm saying? So the countdown is on. I just had my first son born. You know what I mean? I got 2 daughters already. I had my first son. So I'm thinking I'm probably taking him to get his first haircut when he turned a year old. And that'll probably be when I cut the dreads off. You know? But that's still next June. So this nigga's only a week old.
family owned for 3 generations. Golden State.
Yeah, though, man.
We succeed. Diabetes.
I just want to get up on here, man, and talk about this nigga Nick Fridell. I love going in on this bitch. I love it. So I damn near love when he come on. Because I know he gonna say some old doubting ass, hating ass shit. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna have a nigga like, nigga, what? I'll slap the fat off your ass, nigga. Big cheeseburger eating motherfucker. Hungry hippo looking ass nigga. Hungry hippo.
I'm low. Additionally, drivers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm gonna get off here. I'm just trying to see what these niggas talking about now. Watch when I get off here. This nigga gonna say some of the dumbest shit I ever heard him say, and I'm not gonna be on live to hear it.
Our $6 smokehouse chicken meal is a juicy half chicken served with mashed potatoes and a honey butter biscuit.
Or I'm gonna be able to hear it, but I'm not gonna be on live for y'all to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I know it's gonna happen because since I've been on this live, I've been talking about him and his bitch ass ways and the bitch ass shit he's been saying and his hating ass, doubting ass ways. Because he's a negative Nancy ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? But I also been talking about other random ass shit, you know, because a lot of this, I mean, yeah, he even said some dumb shit, but he has said some shit that all of a sudden now when I'm on live trying to expose this bitch, now he want to say some somewhat kind of cool shit that I kind of agree with. So it's just going to be just like for me to just end this live, and then all of a sudden this nigga going to come out, yeah, well, you know, JD, I have doubts about if Steph Curry is really the player that, because, yeah, he just won his 4th ring and his first finals MVP. However, he got a big ass head. So will he be able to get his big ass head through 82 games and will his team into another championship? He'll say some dumbass shit like that.
Otto looking, Otto waiting. Curry with the catch, guarded by Kevin Porter Jr. Curry dribbles on him, step back jumper on the way. Good at the buzzer! Ball game over. Stephen Curry runs for the locker room, but was hit off of the pass by Raymond Ritter, the Warriors PR man. Final score, Golden State 105, Houston 103.
What a grinder, man. And that's the great thing about being Steph Curry. You can shoot like garbage all night long, get upset, be frustrated, and still come out and have the confidence and the skill to hit a game winner. Never a doubt when that left his hands. Straight bottom.
Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
All right, so January 21st, the Warriors had just gotten beat by the Pacers. It was the beginning of what was a season-long 7-game homestand in January, and the Warriors had beat the Pistons kind of ugly. This was after Klay Thompson had come back. Klay out this night, second of the back-to-back against the Rockets, and they lost to the Pacers the night before. Kind of a strange one, and the Warriors in a little bit of a funk, one of a few funks that they had to work themselves out of during the regular season. And Curry on that Friday night just allowed everybody to breathe a sigh of relief. They would go on and beat the Jazz after that, blow out the Mavs to follow that, then handle the Timberwolves and the Nets to close out that homestand and really get back on track. But that was a big shot in a moment where the Warriors were in a little bit of a rut, and also, surprisingly enough, Nick, the first buzzer beater with no time left on the clock of Steph Curry's career. Hard to believe he's had a few that go in the buzzer beater category, but yeah, Steph checking the last couple of boxes that have been unchecked this season.
When the Warriors need an answer, they have the guy that always provides it. And Steph's legacy on the game, again, it was set long before he won a Finals MVP. But
this nigga big cat, bro.
His impact night to night on the other guys on the floor is unlike anything I've ever seen. Because JD, every time Steph is out there, everybody else knows that they will find a way. The feeling is no matter what's happening, Steph will be there to save us if we need an extra shot or if he needs to create for somebody else. And the confidence that Steph Curry gives all his teammates, but especially the younger guys, is something that there are going to be books written about when he retires, because this guy knows how to lift up everybody else around him. And we saw all the frustration at times last season because he knew that team didn't fit the way that they needed to, didn't play the way they needed to consistently. And I remember that game at Staples, they were playing the Clippers, and he just lit everybody up. And you're thinking, is this going to be a repeat of last year in that regard? The roster changed. The pieces around him felt a lot better. But talking to all these younger guys who come in, they're almost in awe. They are in awe of playing against or playing with Steph after playing against him or seeing him on TV all these years. It is the highest compliment to Steph Curry that he has the ability to make everybody else around him feel comfortable and bring the best out of their games when he's playing with them.
It's just another level in terms of legend.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It's another level of all-time greatness, whether it's the Jordan level or the Magic level. You know, guys like that make everybody better around them. And also, I think, you know, some of the stuff we're talking about with the texters and the motivation and all of that and the pettiness, and like Steph and Clay and Draymond have that level of competitiveness that
there's a key word.
That rings through the whole organization, and I think the tone is set from Steph, number one.
I think Kerr would tell you the same, buddy, because Kerr knows that as great as he could be as a coach and as high as he can get the system to run at a level over and over again, no matter what.
These niggas saying all that shit now, but that's not what they were saying.
Don't have the belief in their stuff.
Or at least this
They
nigga.
have it. To me,
Nick
it
Fridell.
is the,
He ain't been
the
saying
Kobe
this.
Bryant instinct, the Michael Jordan instinct, the Magic Johnson instinct.
That's the whole thing about it. They been had this competitiveness. They been uber competitive. Like, that's why it's stupid to ever count them out. They showed they could do it. That's why when a motherfucker show you they could do it, bro, but they show you they historical at it, bro, you can't count them out, bro. You just can't. The great ones they over and over and over again, bro. They show you that you can't never count them out, and y'all continue to do it. Like Steph Curry is one of the great ones. I know I keep saying Steph Curry. It's not just Steph Curry. You know, it's Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. And people forget Steve Kerr. He one of the most competitive motherfuckers ever. This nigga went head up with Michael Jordan in practice. He got punched in the face, but he didn't back down. You know what I'm saying? Bro, competitors, and that's the reason why somebody like Andrew Wiggins fits good on this team, because yes, he's a competitor, but he's kind of like a player, a competitor that has to be he has to be kind of like led by others and kind of be like, oh, okay, this is how we doing it. All right, now I see what y'all doing. Okay, let's go. You know what I'm saying? You know, some players is just like that. You know what I mean? But that's why he's not like a number one bus driver. You know what I mean? Because he don't really set the tone. You know what I mean? But he follows the tone that has been set. So if the tone that's been set is just some motherfuckers just lackadaisical and just, you know what I mean? Okay, we want to win, but we ain't really tripping if we don't. Okay, that's what he gonna do. Mm-hmm. But if it's like, hey, we out here trying to win, my nigga, by any means necessary. We got to get this done. Then he like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We got to get it done. You know what I'm saying? So, but Steph, Clay, and Dre, you know, it just go back to my point, bro. And it's reason why a nigga gets so hot at these dumb motherfuckers that be talking like they know shit. You know what I mean? And it's one thing I'm not saying don't pick somebody else. You know what I mean? But it's a way to do this shit and be respectful, brother. You know what I mean? You niggas will pick somebody else, but at the same time, you gotta talk shit about the other nigga. Like, it's because this nigga ain't shit. He can't do this. And I don't believe he can do this. And I don't believe he can do that. And he's just a bum ass nigga. Then when a nigga prove you wrong, then you want to, oh, well, we should have saw it. And he's so competitiveness and all this bullshit. Moonwalking like better than Michael Jackson. Stupid motherfucker.
So solid. The next pick would be Gary Payton II, because JD, I think what he provides defensively for what this team needs is a perfect fit But if I had one choice, one option, it's Looney.
I'd want Looney around for one more year at least to help continue to bridge Wiseman and help Wiseman figure it out.
Great point.
Because Wiseman is projecting to be a factor. So that would be my reason for Looney number one. Yeah, I would go Payton 2, Porter 3 on that. But boy, man, I mean, Payton, his defense was a factor. So versatile in terms of just positions he can guard and positions they can play him. They could play him at the 2, 3, 4 on defense or on offense. And sometimes different, he might be guarding the 4 and playing the 3. He might be guarding the 1 and playing the 4 on offense. He just has a knack for being able to fit based on the other combinations of players that are on the floor with him.
He's the Swiss Army knife that every championship team needs in order to get to that next level.
Yeah. Okay, let's roll it, Brian. Big cheat piece.
Here comes Klay Thompson up. The set screen for Curry. Now Payton will set a screen. Curry, they shadow a double team. Draymond gets it from Klay. Up top to Payton. Right corner to Wiggins. Puts it on the deck. Payton with a catch of a low pass with 3, with 2. Takes a 3 and hit it! Gary Payton the second. The young ball with a big-time bucket there. That play was going absolutely nowhere. And he nailed it. A 10-point quarter for Payton the second. Warriors up 5. 55 seconds to go.
All right, so Gary Payton the second. That from Game 5 of the first round. And if you remember, the Warriors closed the first round with Payton on the floor late. Jordan Poole, for as great as he played in the first 3 games of the series, he wasn't in the closing lineup at the end of the series. The Warriors used a different closing lineup at the end of the Memphis series to kind of grind out wins there. And everybody among these main 8 guys really played a big role in this team. And Payton's a big part of it, and so is Looney and Porter. And the offseason decisions on all of them are going to be tricky ones to be sure as the Warriors look to try to repeat.
I'm on Twitter too, so if it look like I'm just looking at the motherfucking
Hey, Marty.
Hi. Interested in your
screen, I'm not. I'm looking at Twitter.
One, how important was it that Curry, Thompson, and Green all missed considerable parts of the regular season, and so they were fresher for the playoffs? And then the other, just with comparisons that are made between Curry and the other great point guards in the league, what he has that the others don't, whether it's court vision or leadership or whatever. There's lots of comparisons you can make. I'm interested, maybe even more so, in comparing Steph to his brother Seth, who actually, as you know, has a better 3-point percentage, and having come from the same family. And a kind of an associated question: when Seth was playing, he played for the Warriors in the G League. Was there a decision made that, management or even Steph himself, that they just didn't want Seth on the team? They didn't want his brother on the team?
No, I think they loved Seth, Marty, and appreciate the call. I think that's one that slipped through the cracks, honestly. I just think they thought maybe he wasn't going to be a good enough player, and then he went other places.
Yeah, that was the one fucked up ass move that y'all made. So
kind of proved him wrong. I know not everybody.
Y'all get rid of Steph Curry, little brother, who grew up with the nigga and is in the family. We know who can fucking shoot
at some point, but I think they
not as good as Steph. But I don't give a fuck if the nigga got a better.
He went to Sacramento. He went to Portland. He was in Dallas. I mean, he was in a lot of places. And even Sacramento.
The irony is that when you want to be some nepotism ass bitches, and y'all got Damian Lee sitting on a motherfucking roster because this nigga is married to Steph's sister and shit. But and you just keeping this nigga around, and he trashed in the bitch. Y'all should have been got rid of that nigga alone about 2-3 years ago.
Hey,
okay. A lot of questions about.
So you keep him, but you get rid of
Kenny Atkinson, and how do the
Seth
Warriors
Curry?
fill that void of those two? I mean, two.
Get rid of the brother.
And the Warriors,
the nigga that actually got the same shit actually in his veins, but keep the brother-in-law. Who don't got none of that shit in his blood.
Were factors. The Warriors were a lot more game by game.
Y'all some stupid motherfuckers.
The regular season compared to other years, I think they went in to try to really win regular season games.
And that absolutely is a change from the last couple years of time, especially dating back to that last.
And they needed it.
I'm gone though, bro. These niggas ain't talking about nothing.
What cracked me up, JD, is
wait, let me hear.
Steve Kerr.
Hold on, let me hear this name.
And he always has a knack for some comedic timing in some of these press conferences. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're chasing wins now. How much backlash he got from that comment. He wanted to lighten the mood a little bit around what was going on with the group now, and they did. They went out to win games this year, but I think what's crucial in the context of who comes in for Atkinson in places like Brown, the Warriors have developed themselves in such a way that they've really become what Alabama has for coaches who want to get back in the spotlight and rehabilitate, if it needs that, their own image. Whenever a coach wants to go back in football and kind of work his way into becoming a head coach again, they go see Nick Saban, they work in Tuscaloosa for a year or two, and they go get another big job somewhere. The Warriors are doing the same thing. Think about Luke Walton, Alvin Gentry, Mike Brown now, Kenny Atkinson. These are very good coaches who have found their niche within this team, and another team says, hey, can you replicate the Warriors' success for us? And we'll give you a bunch of money to try.
JJ in the city. Hey, JJ.
What's going on, JD? Cousin Nick, nice to hear you back in the Bay.
Man, fuck that
Appreciate
shit,
it.
Nick.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yep. What's going on? You know, all I got to say, first off, is holy cannoli. That's how everybody, I think, is feeling right now. And secondly, this is pure validation for everything. I don't think we could hear any more BS and chatter from everybody else. You know, I think as a Bay Area sports fan, this is by far the greatest championship in the Bay Area. Compared to all the Giants ones and all the other Warriors ones, this by far puts everybody on the top. Steph is the GOAT, I think, at this point. You know, I know we got Jordan and LeBron and Bird and Magic and all those guys, but what Steph did, that Game 4 performance was just, that's when you knew it was game time. And I don't know if you guys touched on this or not, but even for Kerr to bench Draymond back in Game 4 and where that got him to these last two games, I mean, he just was vintage Draymond. And there's nobody that could take anything away from us. And this year, I mean, seeing Steph cry at the end of the game, I shed a tear because that was just pure emotion and joy. And I think actually moving forward, there's nothing left for them to prove to anybody. They're going to even play